What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the VHS Morbius and Doctor Strange 2-pack. Let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out.
Now tuning into the Encountered Culture.
In your face, trying to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you'll never see us again.
As promised, today we'll be taking a look at the Doctor Strange and Morbius VHS 2-pack. So let's see what we've got going on. Taking a look at the package, of course, we are continuing the VHS style series here. So you've got nice cartoon images of both Doctor Strange and Morbius. That great Spider-Man logo. Flip it to the side, there are your VHS tapes, right? 1 and 2, as usual, Doctor Strange, Morbius, some other images at the bottom there. Flip it to the back, you get a nice renders of the figures here, some information at the bottom. No little blurb, they haven't done those on these VHS boxes for whatever reason, so nothing to go over there. You do get the nice imagery on the side as well, looks really good. I do like this version of Morbius, so I'm really excited about getting into that. But let's get them out of the box. Fresh out of the box, some good looking figures just from right off the bat. I like the stylized versions that we've got for these figures. Probably not the first 2-pack that would have come to mind for me. I don't so much care about the Doctor Strange in this pack, as I've already got plenty of Doctor Strange figures, and I'm not doing a total like animated display, just picking and choosing characters from there to add to the display. So it's a good 2-pack. There's definitely other characters that I would like to see. I'd really like to get that Blade and Punisher from the animated series. So hopefully those are somewhere down the line, because I really do want to add those particular versions to the display. But let's take a closer look at each of these guys here. You do get some power effects. You get an extra set of hands for each, so that's always a welcome addition. We'll take a look at Doctor Strange, and then we'll get into Morbius, see what we have going with each of these figures and how they look up close. For Doctor Strange, I will say this face sculpt is pretty phenomenal. I'm not going to be displaying this figure, most likely not going to be displaying this figure at all, but I might switch out this head sculpt and put that on a different Doctor Strange. The big complaint though is going to be that it looks nothing like the animated series version, right? This is obviously retooled version of the head we got with the Walmart exclusive Doctor Strange. So that's going to be the chief complaint for probably everybody who was looking forward to getting an animated style of this. But it does look really good. I like the hair. That white really pops in there. So I may use this head sculpt, just not the figure itself. We do get a new cape design though, so that is cool. Cape is keyed in right here at the chest. You can see some reused parts from previous Doctor Strange figures. That makes sense. No harm, no foul there. You are on a pinless buck, so you have to appreciate that at least. That we didn't get a pinless buck on the Walmart version. So, for those of you out there who want to swap the legs out, maybe that'll be a good option for you. Cape is definitely going to hinder some of your arm articulation. As I said, it is keyed in. It is a harder plastic cape, so you are going to be limited in the arms. Other than that, you've got pretty basic legs. That'll give you plenty of motion there, but let's take a look at these effects and hands. You do get the open set of hands that he uses the power effects for that we've seen with essentially every Doctor Strange figure that they've offered to us in the line. You get 2 of these power effects, again, same ones that we've seen before. So no difference there. They do come in a nice blue color, good translucent plastic, so I am a fan of that. And of course I can always use power effects, right? So good to have. And in addition to that, you do get your set of fists. So you have the option to use the open hands or the fists. I always like to have options, so that is a plus for sure. As far as the articulation goes, the head, he will look down to about there, so not very far. Going back only to about there. The cape is going to limit you going backwards. You can get some good side to side. Pretty decent range of motion for the head side to side. A little bit of rock as well, just to give you that extra depth of display ability. As I said previously, the arms are going to be hindered by the cape. So, I mean, you're only going up and out to about there. You can get the elbow to bend to about there. It is on this single hinge, like we've seen with the other Doctor Strange figures because of the style of shirt that's being worn. You have an ab crunch, fairly basic ab crunch and hip swiveled there. Not a lot of gap, so that's good. He will move around as such. The sash down here is a separate piece, so you can move that around a little bit. It is not keyed in. It is, however, placed in there, so it won't come off super easily. As you can see, it is underlaid in that area there at the hip. Leg will kick up to about there, out to about there, and then only back to about there. Knees will get you a bend all the way to the back, so you do get plenty of range for the back leg. The cape's not in your way. Upper thigh cut and your boot cut, and then your hinge and swivel at the ankle. So some limitations as far as the articulation goes, but I do like the fact that we got a new style of cape. Do think the cape looks pretty good. Color-wise, and from the animated series, I mean, they really did get it on point, aside from the face not looking like the cartoon character. For comparison, here he is backed up against a couple of other Doctor Strange figures that we've received in the wave. So as you can tell, the cape is different from these previous iterations of the cape. A little bit brighter in color too to match the animated style. He is going to be the same height as your Walmart exclusive, which was in turn a little bit taller than the previous Doctor Strange figures that we had received. So just a nice little snapshot just to see what you're looking for. For those of you who have just been waiting for a Doctor Strange and don't really have a particular preference, I do feel like this new one will mesh into your comic display. Colors are going to be animated, but the face sculpt matches the comic face sculpt. So, yeah, it could work, right? Let me know what you think. Moving over to Morbius, I really like how the face sculpt on this one turned out. I think they did a really nice job with this figure, and it may be my favorite Morbius in Marvel Legends. I don't know. I'll have them side by side for a comparison and make a determination on that, but at first glance, it's definitely up there. I like how this has come out. So you have a nice color through the hair. It's, you know, that really good blue with some good wash in there just to give you some highlight and low light for the hair. So I do like how that came out. Body sculpt looks pretty good. The chief complaint will be that your arms are pinned and your legs are pinless. So that a little bit odd, a little bit nitpicky. I don't personally care all that much. As far as the accessories go, you don't get any accessories for Morbius. You do get an extra set of hands. The hands all have this nice design as we saw in the animated series, so that is a good touch. Of course, so the fists, you don't have that because these are just reused fists. But who knows if you're going to be displaying it with those? Probably not. I mean, I will certainly have it just with the open hands. I like the way that those look. Great expression on the face. Coat and everything turned out good. Color-wise, I like it. I like the choices being made here. The belt, it is a separate piece, so you can move that around if it's bothering you, if it's off to the side or whatever. So you will be good there. For your hands, you do get your open set of hands, which, as I already said, they look good. I like how they came out. They'll certainly be the ones that I am going to display for the figure. You also get your set of fists, which I didn't really notice this with the other hands, but you know, with the fists, they just stand out so much more. The tone is definitely off between the skin on the arms and then with the hand and the face. So the skin on the arms and neck, they have a sort of bluish tint to them, whereas the hands are just a very like bright white. So I don't love that. That definitely sticks out, looks a little weird, but once it's on the shelf, I'll forget about it. But just want to point that out. It's certainly a little bit off. As far as your articulation goes, he will look down, the chin will touch the chest, so you get all the way down. You get some good upward motion. It does not stay in place, though. The collar of the jacket kind of pushes the head back. So a little bit of finagling, you can get it to where you want to go. It will go all the way around. You get some rock side to side. Plenty of movement. Nice work there. You do get a little bit of gapping at the bottom of the neck, but it's in an area that you're not going to notice, so not a huge deal. Arms will move all the way around. They will go out to about there. You do get to see the blue shirt through there. Something that they tend to do a lot with figures wearing jackets. I don't like it. It looks pretty bad, but just pose it in a way that you're not going to see it. It just is one of those things that really stands out, and I kind of don't love that. Right. All right, upper bicep cut. Double jointed pinned elbows, as I've previously mentioned. So that is an interesting call. Jacket is fairly pliable, so you can move it around. You do have your ab crunch and hip swivel, so you'll get some range out of there, some decent motion. Could have been maybe some better torso articulation. Leg will kick up to about there, only back to about there, and then out to there. You do have your upper thigh cut. You do have a boot cut, and you are double jointed pinless at the knees as opposed to pinned like the elbows. Ankle hinge and swivel, plenty of movement down there. For the minor nitpicks that I did point out, still really like this figure, so I just want to highlight those things, but it's not really taking away from the overall feeling of satisfaction for this figure. I do think it looks pretty good. For comparison, here are some other Morbius's, Morbi? I don't think that's right. All right, so you've got your other two Morbius release figures here. I do have the original version of this Morbius. It was just easier to access the re-release. It's the same figure, right? So you got an idea of how that looks. Height-wise, they are fairly consistent, all of them being roughly the same height. Maybe your Venom Pool Bath version slightly taller than the other two. But it gives you a nice view of how slightly different these are. Not even slightly, they're all very different, but gives you an idea of how they look next to each other. As I said at the beginning of the video, I do think the VHS is my new favorite Morbius. I kind of like the colors. The blues really pop against the black jacket. He's got a great face sculpt. I've never really been a huge fan of the Venom Pool version. This has always been my favorite version of Morbius. I do feel like I'm certainly torn between this iteration and the VHS version. Either way, it will find a home in the display. They'll both be on display and all will be fine there. Love to hear what you guys think. What is your favorite Morbius out of these versions? Let me know in the comments below. All right, folks, well, there you have it. There is your VHS Doctor Strange and Morbius 2-pack. A fine 2-pack, not the 2-pack that I would definitely want, but there are some good things out of this that I do like. I love this Morbius figure. The Doctor Strange is surplus to requirements for me, so I will be offloading Doctor Strange as I do not need a fourth Doctor Strange figure in the display. I just don't. I like the color on the hair, though. I do think they captured the costumes very well from the VHS for the animated series. I do find it weird that they went with a head sculpt that looks nothing like the animated series. It seems like they could have just come up with a new head sculpt for this, but they did not. So that would be the main thing that is just the biggest negative of this 2-pack. Otherwise, a fairly good 2-pack. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. That was my 2 cents. Do what you want with that information. I certainly appreciate you for coming and checking out the video, though. If this is your first time here, you've been here before, just want to say thank you. I really do. appreciate those of you who are watching these videos, especially if you're staying to the end here. So, of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.